Hello, I'm Brent Farris from the Bearded Man Studios, and I'm here to show you how to use the built-in scripts with your states. So I'm back in the last video where I created 3 states for this object, and I'm going to do a couple things. First, I'm going to make it so that when I click this object, it's going to go to the flat state. So all I need to do is go to my scripts folder, drag the OSM on click onto the script, or onto the object, and I'll just type in flat. Just the name of the script of the state that we created. Now if I hit play and if I click on to the sphere, you'll see that it goes into its flat state. That's cool. Well, sometimes we want to create scripts that affect this from different objects. So I'm just going to create a new object. I'm going to create let's make it a cube so I can tell them apart. So I'm going to create a cube. I'm going to make it so that when I click on this cube, this sphere goes back to the initial state. So all I have to do is drag the OSM underscore on click and type in the initial state, and in the change other, all I have to do is drag the sphere into the change other. Now when I press play, I can click on the sphere itself to go into this view. Now my collider encapsulates the cube, so there's a problem there. I'll have to have the cube outside of the collider in order to click on it. So let's just move this back a bit. So now when I click on the cube, it's going to go back to, the sphere should go back to its initial state. And there you go. We've affected the sphere state from another object. Now there's a lot more you can do. Let's say that I don't want these on clicks, so I'll just remove these. And in fact, what I want to do is let's do an on mouse enter. So we'll do an OSM mouse. We'll attach it to this cube. I'm going to drag this sphere further back. Actually, I need to drag the cube. Let's set this to its flat state. Let's drag this cube so that it's outside of the collider. And we can go back to our initial state. So what I'm going to do is make it so that I'm going to drag the sphere into the socket for the change other, and I'm going to make it change the sphere on mouse enter. So I'm going to type in, when we enter it, I want to go to the flat state, and then I can drag another one, and let's say on exit I want it to go to the initial state, and we're going to drag the sphere into the socket. So now when I press play and I mouse over my cube, it's going to go between the flat state and the initial state. So that's how we can use scripts and attach other scripts to them. One thing I want to go over before I end this video is that there is on trigger enter and on collision enter, same thing for exit. So let's imagine that this was a trigger. You can see there's 4 elements here. We have our 2 normal ones, one for the state name and one for the change other. Since it's attached to this guy, we don't want it to be anything else. However, there's a specific object name. This would be the name. Let's say this main camera is the object entering this trigger. Then the state will only switch if main camera enters the trigger. Likewise for the tag, the specific script is if there's a specific script attached. So if I typed in camera there, only cameras would affect this whenever the on trigger enter happens. And the specific object is just that I could drag the main camera directly into that, and that only that object will trigger the state to change. So that's how we can use the built-in scripts. And if you have any more questions on that, or ideas that you would like to share, or want me to show some examples, some other examples, useful examples, just let me know in the comments or send me a message.